Well, the purpose of Clasp is to provide additional homework help to our students from our wonderful volunteer tutors who consist of seniors, college students, high school students, and middle school students from our community.
About 15, 16 years ago, we were working on a youth master plan for the city, and I had the pleasure of being on the executive committee doing that youth master plan.
One of our goals was to start after-school programs in the housing complexes where students lived who didn't have all of the resources to get to after-school programs in the schools or didn't have the way to get home from them. And just didn't have other resources. So National Council of Negro Women, under the leadership of Shirley Butler, who had been their president, worked with the principal of Vista School, Lee Yeager, and the city to fix up the affordable housing complex Vista Valle Townhomes on San Jose and open up the recreation room for an after-school program. And that began in the fall of 1995.
I've been with the program for I think about 16 years because it started at St. Ambrose as the Wellness Center. Some of us took issue with that name Wellness because we didn't feel the children really were ill, but we started there.
The Youth Wellness Center was founded, and it was just a small group of children, and we were at one of the churches who gave us an extra room to use.
In 1999, the Claremont Tutorial Centers, which is the name of the program, opened a second site. We opened a second site at Claremont Village Apartments on Arrow Highway, another affordable housing complex. And that program has continued until now and became transformed into one branch of Clasp.
We were encouraged to work together, and so the merger took place, and we are healthier, not only in numbers of volunteers, we are healthier in personnel, and we are healthier and richer in students.
I'd say the best part would be seeing your kids get involved with their homework and actually want to do it and get it right, and then especially when you see them like struggling and then you see yourself actually help them to figure out problems, and I think that's a really good feeling that you get when you help a student like that.
I think it's very important to keep the same student. I think it's unfair to the student to have the change each time because the student gets to know you and your expectations. And I've had one now for 3 years. And when he came, it was quite a challenge. And I've seen him develop. It took us 2 years to master the multiplication table, but we finally did at the end of last year. And then today he told me, he said, you know, I've improved on my cursive. And it was 100% improvement.
I see that one of the very special features of Clasp is that relationship that occurs between the student and the volunteer or the tutor. And one of the unique features of Clasp is that we are freed up from having to be the person that is evaluating, assessing, marking the child as occurs
every day for a child at school, and it has to, because that's what school is all about, and that's necessary. But we at Clasp are freed up from that. We are just friendly volunteers that are there to support the child and help them get that homework done.
Being a kid in Clasp, I thought it was really different at first. It was hard. I didn't know anybody, so I think Clasp gave me a social life. It taught me that education was important first before going to have fun. I got to meet a lot of new students, not a lot of new people around the community, so it really helped me now today because I'm really sociable. I get to meet different people, different families around the community. I feel like I'm giving back to what they gave me, so it was a great opportunity.
Don't forget the hot fudgy, said Mr.
Imagine fudge on a hamburger, huh?
Then they went, we sure have a silly day, said ketchup and mustard.
Our purpose is basically to help the kids, especially those who are just learning the language with their homework and with the reading. A lot of our kids that come, because of the language barrier, they don't get help at school, at home. So that's our basic purpose, to help them get the homework completed.
Some of the ones I've tutored have come from 2 different language backgrounds besides English. And so I think one of the things we can do is help them enrich and to understand the English language, because they may not always get that at home.
My hope for Clasp is that we can strengthen and grow, and so that we will be able to help or reach the needs of many, many more children in our community.
I actually think this is going to expand beyond the city of Claremont personally. This is technically, we're really close to Pomona cities and Upland, and I know a lot of students like to come out to our program personally, and we tell them about Clasp, so I think it's going to reach out to many different people and benefit them.
We'd like to expand, but of course that will take more financing, and we always need a steady tutor base.
I would like to be able to strengthen our tutor base and really have a strong tutor base for all 4 of our sites, because if we have enough volunteers, then we can begin to approach a much more individualized experience for each child.
So, one day I said to my little girl, well, my brain isn't wired for math, it's just for words. And she looked at me and grinned and she said, mine must be wired for both, because I like math and words.
And I have a bright one.
And I asked her what she wanted to do when she grew up, and she said, I want to be a teacher. And I said, oh, Natalie, you'll make a great teacher.
When we see our students understand and complete their homework, we just see a new confidence and enthusiasm for learning, which Clasp is all about.